What's going on? Welcome to Asian Cosell. So I got another good one by Megan Moon here. So Koreans rent fake family at weddings. This is insane betrayal story and it's crazy as hell. Let's get into it.
Paying 업체. These are services where you can rent people to come and be guests at your wedding. Now, why on earth would someone want to do that? Well, that's because in Korea, the wedding photos are of utmost importance. Okay, you need to be able to show people that you had the wedding of all weddings. You spent so much money and there were so many people there. And then you also get these really nice wedding albums. There's stains on it now. Me and Mr. Moon. Do you see all of those older Korean people behind me? Have no idea who they are. But they are not rented people. They are the friends and distant relatives of my in-laws. And if you ever go to a Korean wedding, at the end, before people hit the buffet, you will have a friends and family photo time and you get these pictures like this. And this is one of the reasons why people will hire people at the weddings. Oh my God, I love these pictures too. Look. Okay, anyway, focus. But there are some people who just want to hide who their family is, so they hire people to come to just pretend to be their family because for whatever reason, they don't want to introduce their family to their partner. And that's because people look at your family background for marriage, and in-laws will straight up deny marriages if the other family is not up to par. So families who are divorced will pretend like they didn't get a divorce for the sake of their kids' marriage, or they'll hire people to come in and pretend like they're the spouses or whatever. But when you lie about a marriage, there are some bad things that can transpire. The gossip is juicy. Let it bounce. Let's get into it. This story was submitted by someone who did not say her name. So I have named her Haner, which means sky. It's like one of my favorite Korean names. Haner sent in her story to Erobubu. Haner is newly married to her husband, who we will call Hyunwoo. We're just going to go with the H theme. Haner. So Haner came from a very rough family. Apparently, some people in her family are ex-cons. They were involved in some cons. So she cut ties with them, and then she met the love of her life, Hyunwoo. And he proposed to her, and she was so happy. But her family are scumbags. And she was afraid to tell him. She cannot let him get away. She has to marry him. So what does she do? She becomes a con artist herself and hires fake family to be at the wedding. Because if Hyunwoo knows that the family are con artists, then he might not marry her. And she cannot let that happen. And the story that she had told her husband was that her family had just moved to America, which is quite believable because a lot of Korean people move out of the country and live other places. But anyway, apparently the wedding went well. The fake family members did their jobs beautifully. And because she told her husband that her family lives in America, there's no reason for them to actually meet up. So it seemed like a perfect lie. So fast forward a year later, they are at their 1-year anniversary. The husband actually booked them at a very nice restaurant, and she's actually pregnant. She's got a little peanut in her belly. She is so happy. But then at the wedding anniversary dinner, someone walks in. It is the woman that was hired to play the sister at Haner's wedding. Why is she here?
내가 불렀어. I just wondered how she was doing, so I called, and she was back from America in Korea.
So this woman's name is Yejin, and she has just crashed an anniversary dinner, apparently, because the husband called her to do so. That's very strange to me. Like, it's an anniversary dinner. Why would you just randomly call your wife's sister to like come and hang out with the anniversary dinner? Also, why do you even have her phone number? This is a fake actor. She shouldn't have been getting your phone number or anything in the first place, right? It's like apparently a part of their job. And then also, why were you even thinking about her in the first place to call her and just see if she happened to not be in the US anymore, you know? Okay. But then also there's a question of why would Yejin even go? Because these people have to sort of be discreet. Their job is to pretend to be other people's family members. So you got to know she's here for nefarious reasons. But anywho, Haner is a housewife and she actually goes to her mother-in-law's art gallery to help her out a couple times a week. Apparently.
Okay, so we see where this setup is gonna be. Okay, even if you have like a family of criminals, like in the States, we're like, we don't care. That is, that's Uncle Ray Ray, Uncle Juju, or Uncle, something. Yeah, he done 20 years and, it's normal, it's like whatever. Yeah, and then there's a Pokey, the cousin. Yeah, he did, 5 years for armed robbery or something. But yeah, in Korea, it's like, yeah, if you want to keep this, oh, there
she
you
really
go.
enjoys it. So the next time she was at the art gallery. She's there working or whatever, and she hears a voice. Annie. Yeah. And then the mother-in-law goes on to tell Haner that Yejin will be there and will be helping out at the art gallery and whatnot. In the beginning stages of pregnancy, you should really rest. I am so honored to be working with such an amazing art curator such as yourself. I have revered you for years. Yejin is really sucking up to that mom-in-law, huh? At this point, Haner is like, what does this trick want? Like with me running around pretending to be my family, sucking up to my mom-in-law. She's getting more and more nervous, as she should be, right? So a few days later, when she was at home with her husband one night, her husband was like,
So Yejin told me that your family got bankrupt. 왜 그런 거 나한테 숨겨? Why don't you tell me things like that?
so apparently the sister Yejin told the husband that their parents went bankrupt and they lost their house, and so they're living at some other family members' houses. But Haner is like, why are you even meeting with her behind my back? First of all, I think that's kind of strange and sort of a weird boundary. I think you just wouldn't cross, especially because they don't actually know each other like that. If that was the first time that they met, any meeting that should be done like with the sister, like we're all meeting together, right? It's like, why would you go and meet her by yourself? Anyway, he goes on to say that he didn't meet her. They're just messaging on Kakao Talk, which is like Korean WhatsApp. And at the wedding day a year ago, he just handed her his business card, and then she popped up on his Kakao Talk one day. So then they just started messaging and talking and stuff. So a few days later, Haner and Hyunwoo were just sort of taking a walk, and then they got back to their home. And who did they see? Yejin with a suitcase. Haner is like, 너 뭐야? What are you doing?
당신 와 있으라고 했다면. You're the one that told her to come here, didn't you?
내가 혼자 있어도 괜찮은데. I'm perfectly fine by myself, but she said it's dangerous for you to be on your own in a safe Korea where there's no crime. You told me to come stay with you guys.
Oh, wow.
With this new AI technology, you can generate unlimited children's storybook videos in minutes,
And
even
get
if you have
some
zero technical
storybook
experience.
videos.
Oh my God, this con artist is gonna be moving into the house. I don't understand how you could let it get that far. This woman who we know nothing about is coming into my house. I would say, you know what? We're gonna sit down with that husband, let it all be out in the light. Because I could never live in such anxiety like that. Deception, deceit. Actually, the moment she popped up at the anniversary dinner, I would have immediately spilled the beans when we went home that night. Spill the beans. So Haner is like, you know what? I need to sit down with Yejin and I need to figure out what in the hell her motives are. 나한테 원하는 게 뭐야? What is it that you want from me, girl? 언니, 화났어요? You need to stop calling me 언니, okay? I am not your 언니. 나 지금 있을 데가 없어서 그런 거예요. I don't have any other place to go right now. But as soon as I'm able to get a loan on a new place, I promise I will leave. So then Hanel is like, okay, you don't have a place to stay. I will help you find like an office tel somewhere that you can stay. She would rather get this woman an apartment to stay in than like just tell her husband the truth. I cannot, because you still don't really know this person, But I guess it's better than having them in your house. So the next day, Hanel finds a good realtor. So she calls up Yejin. 여보세요? So I actually found a good realtor for you to use. Oh, no, you don't have to worry about that. I'm actually here right now with your husband at a realtor's office, and he found a place for me. What? Okay, she was at a realtor's office by herself with her husband, and the wife did not know about it. I cannot. Where's the communication? Like, hey, babe, your sister says she needs an office tel. I'm going to go to the realtor's office with her. Like, maybe that's something we should all be doing together if the husband is going to be involved. So later that night, Haner was walking home, and then a weird man comes up to her. Yeah, 연락한다며. And he's got like crazy eyes. It's her actual little brother, but apparently he came to hit her up for money. Hey, you need to give us some money to help with our debt, right? Because you're a family. So she just says, whatever, I'll talk to you later. Like, I'm not working. I'm a housewife. I don't have any money to give you. So she's very anxious, of course, because he's like, oh, your husband still don't know about us? It'd be a shame if he found out. Basically, find a way to get us the money. So she grabs his hand and pulls him somewhere. She's like, we're out in the open. What if my husband sees us? But just at that moment, the husband and Yejin are walking home, and they see her with that other man grabbing the hand and walking off somewhere. So the husband, Hyunwoo, was like,
그 남자 누군지 알아? Do you know who that man is that she's with?
Yejin obviously doesn't know that that's the real brother, but she does think of a little plan to stir up some dissensions. So she says,
and this is why you don't rent families, Jesus, and try to keep up the lie. But of course, it's, the Korean families, those Korean things, where I'd be like, yo, yeah, that's as in the States, it's like, yo, this is, my cousin Joey. Yep, he did 2 years in the pen or whatever, you know. Oh, but man, Jesus. Let's see what happens here. Oh my goodness, this is unfolding to be something seriously crazy.
So before my sister actually got married, she actually had a boyfriend who she was really, really close with. Maybe that's him. Oh, I think I said something I wasn't supposed to. Oh, now you know she's really trying to be a man-stealing harlot. So the husband is pissed because he thinks his wife is going and gallivanting with her ex-boyfriend. So he's like, I'm gonna go get some drinks. And what do you think Yejin said? 형부, 나랑 같이 가자. So why don't you come drinking with me? So they go out drinking. Who knows what transpired? But Hanler
Yeah.
calls. Oh, she's starting to get suspicious that maybe him and Yejin have something going on, because up until this time, she's thinking, you know, my husband thinks that Yejin is really my little sister's. Nothing would happen. Like, my husband is a man of integrity, is what most people think about their husbands, until they find out it's not true. So that night when the husband came home, the wife was like, let me just look at his phone, see what him and Yejin have been talking about. He changed the password. But then just then he wakes up and sees her. 지금 당신 나 의심할 때가 아니잖아.
Why are you being suspicious of me? You're the one I should be suspicious of. Who is that man you was gallivanting with outside?
But then she's like, no, he's not a boyfriend. He's just a distant relative. He's a cousin. But then the husband sort of looking at her belly and then looking up at her. Oh, you think this baby ain't yours? And he's just like, you know, you don't tell me everything. You're pretty cryptic. And so he just gets up and goes to sleep on the couch. But it is understandable that he could be doubting paternity. I mean, your wife is with some man that he's never seen before. And apparently the last time that brother came, he also saw him then too, but didn't think much of it. Thought maybe he was just passing in the street to ask for directions or something. And then also, when you're hiding a big truth from people and you feel nervous about it, like, people can pick up on that energy. And it's so funny that she thinks that her family are the only con artists, but she's been conning this man the whole time, like lying to get married. Like, that is a con artist, to the point where in Korea, if you find out that your partner hid some very big information, especially like who their family is before marriage, you can actually sue them. And they call it 사기 결혼, like con artist marriage. So you can actually get money and they'll cancel the marriage if they find out something like that. Yeah. So that's what's at risk if he does find out that she lied about it. So she's just like, look, she's trying to stir up some trouble. I'm gonna go confront her at the arts gallery.
Damn.
너도 사기 결혼했잖아. You lied about who your family is just so you can marry a good man. 나도 좀 먹고 살래. I gotta eat too. Yejin is like, look, you were the first con artist. I'm just doing the same thing so I can get free apartments and stuff. What? But that is true. Like, she can't be mad that somebody's just playing her own game. I'm split on this one. I think both people are in the wrong. So I actually don't really have that much pity for the wife, although I don't think two wrongs make a right. If somebody's not going to accept your marriage because of what your family background is, then that's not the person you should be marrying. If you marry people on false pretenses, they will find out, because there's no way you could really hide a whole family. Like, why do in the first place? Say they all died. You're an orphan. I don't know. Like, why you got to bring some fake family there? So at that point in time, Hanler made up her mind. She's like, you know what? I'm going to tell my husband everything. 나 함부로 건들리지 않은 게 좋을걸? You don't want to mess with me. So she goes home and she's like, you know what? I've got to tell my husband tonight. So they're sat at dinner. 나 말할 게 있어. I have something to tell you.
Monday? What is it?
So Yejin, she isn't actually my little sister.
일단은 나 사실 이미 알고 있었어. I already knew.
What? You already knew? So you knowingly went and got this girl a place to stay? Went out drinking with her at night, just the two of you? Girl, and then the husband says,
당신이 만들어준 가족이잖아.
this is the family that you have made. Ooh, what? But if you remember, Yejin was like, 나 함부로 건들리지 마세요. Like, don't mess with me. So you guys to know, if the wife Yejin has exposed to the husband, that Yejin is going to retaliate, and retaliate she did. The next day, they went to the art gallery. It was the mom-in-law, the husband, Yejin, and the wife. And so the wife, Hanler, comes in, and the mother-in-law is like, oh my God, I heard about your mom. She's in the hospital. Like, she's very, very sick. Somebody needs to go and like help take care of her. Yejin was sat there with a cast on her leg. So then the mom-in-law is like, oh, Yejin, you know, she broke her leg. You know, she can't go. You have to be the one that goes back to America to be with your sick mom. 미안해, 언니. It looks like you're going to have to go to America to take care of my mom.
Wow.
My leg. But, you know, Hannah is pregnant.
Yeah, I know that you're pregnant, but still, you should go. You have to go take care of your mom. I already got the plane tickets.
What? So he knows that her family's not really in America, but he's just trying to send his wife off. So then when the mom-in-law is not looking, so anyway, they go back home and she's telling her husband, like, what the hell? Like, what are you trying to do here?
I think it's better that we separate.
But it's like, what do you expect her to do? Like, her family's not really in America. So in order for her to disappear, she would have to just pretend like she's not in the immediate area, not show up at the art gallery. Like, she physically would have to move somewhere else because people could see her and then go and tell the mom-in-law that she's not.
Wow. Yep. And, of course, yeah, America's a good lie because, we have a lot of Koreans in America. But yeah, this is all just to be part of a family. Yeah. Let's see. But this is going to get a little more crazy.
Really gone. I don't know, but it's like you really want her to like leave and be gone, which is understandable. I would be upset too, but still, like there's other things you could do. So Hannah is like, there's no point in us living like this. 차라리 이혼해. Let's just get a divorce.
Oh, you want to get a divorce? Do you realize that if you marry someone under false pretenses, that you are the one at fault for the divorce?
So Hannah is like, you know what? I'm about to go confront Yejin. So Hannah goes into the house and there's photos of Yejin and Hyunwoo, the husband, like going on dates and stuff together. So like she knows like they are dating. Did you think if you were just going around gallivanting with my man that he was gonna become your man? 이민의 남자야. Girl, he already my man. Asked my husband to get a divorce, but 절대 이혼 안 해준다. He said that he's not gonna divorce me. Oh. You're just jealous that we're having a good time in this little fake family world that you've created. 착각하지 마. If he had known that you really weren't my sister, he wouldn't have even given you the time of day and hung out with you in the first place. 네 남편 그러디? Is that what your husband said? 네 남편 완전 쓰레기야. Your husband is a big piece of trash because he did not know. How could you get with your wife's sister? Trash. 야! 지출나서 반했잖아! But then the husband comes in as she's grabbing her hair, it's a cat fight. So the husband splits up the fight and then Hannah is like, yeah, 너 지금 똑바로 말해봐. You need to tell me the truth right now. Did you actually know that she wasn't my sister or not?
Yeah.
이성분이 있는 치약을 쓰면 1주 만에 하얘질 수가 있습니다.
And there's an advertisement. Yay!
I knew.
웃기고 있네. After the first time we slept together, you were having a fit because you felt so guilty. So I had to tell you, don't worry, I'm not really her sister. You want to stay with a man who would mess with your actual sister?
Yeah, 진짜 아니잖아. You guys aren't really sisters.
So then the wife just like screams and like has a fit and doesn't know what to do with herself. So he really thought that was his wife's little sister. And he still like messed with her anyway. That is insane. So the wife is a con artist lying about her family. The husband is a piece of trash who liked the little sister right when he saw her at the wedding because she is beautiful. But apparently they have been together, sleeping with each other for quite some time. And that's how he found out. So she sent her stuff into Edo Bubu to figure out what would happen. Now, in this case, originally, remember, she wasn't going to get a divorce because she was going to be the one that would have to, pay him damages. And she would be the one who would be in trouble for having lied and had the marriage. But since there is evidence of the husband cheating, both of them are in the wrong. She's still like deciding if she wants to get a divorce or not. But I don't know. To me, like if I knew that my husband really thought that this was my sister, then if he knew from the beginning that it was fake family and was just like, whatever, that still would be bad, but not as bad as thinking that it's your real sister, but still messing with her anyway. But also it's equally bad to lie about your family. Like everyone in this story is just a piece of trash this time, in my opinion. This is what could happen if you hire fake family members at your wedding. Don't do it. Everyone be honest about your situation. If that person does not want it and doesn't want to marry you, that means they are not for you. Find somebody who will accept you with your crazy scamming family instead of becoming a crazy scammer yourself. So anyway, what do you think? And many of you guys who watch are not from the USA, but have you heard any crazy stories like that? Or in your country, do people hire like fake people to be in their weddings? Is it even a big deal to have a bunch of people at a wedding? Let me know down.
Yeah, so crazy, yeah. All this, just to cover this up, cover that up, and all this craziness. Yeah, for me, I'm just gonna avoid it. I'm like, yo, this is who my family is. Yo, okay, this is who your family. Okay, he did time in prison, okay, whatever. Whatever. So yeah, but that's the story. That's how it goes. So yep, good old Korea. Yep, and weddings are like, oh yeah, for everything. So yep. Shout out to Megan Moon for putting this video. So if any of you enjoyed any of this content, please give me the HKL special. Help the king out. Hit the like, subscribe, and comment, and wherever you are, stay safe, and I'll see you in my next video.